That's it, Mayor.
Time you go. It's third, ready? Fire. And the pledge.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you.
That was kind of neat.
Roll call.
Commissioner Clark?
Here.
Commissioner Cox?
Here.
Commissioner Graven? Here. Commissioner Fix?
Yes, here.
Mayor Hall?
Here. Consent agenda. Items listed on the consent agenda are considered to be routine in nature and will be enacted by one motion. No separate discussion of these items will occur unless a council member requests an item to be removed from the consent agenda. If an item is removed from the consent agenda, it will be considered elsewhere on the agenda for this meeting. Prior to asking for a motion to approve the consent agenda, the mayor will ask if anyone desires to remove an item from the consent agenda for public discussion. Would anybody like to remove an item from the consent agenda? Hearing none, I move we approve the minutes of the regular meeting of December the 19th, 2023, and bills and payroll for the last half of December 2023. Do I have a second to that motion?
I'll second it. Mayor.
And roll call.
Commissioner Clausen?
Yes.
Commissioner Cox?
Yes.
Commissioner Graven? Yes. Commissioner Fix?
Yes.
Mayor Hall?
Yes. Presentations, petitions, and communications. This portion of the city council meeting is reserved for persons who desire to address the council. The Illinois Open Meetings Act mandates that the city council may not take action on comments received on matters that have not been identified on this agenda. But the council may direct staff to address the topic or refer the matter for action on the agenda for another meeting. Persons addressing the topic or refer the matter for action on the agenda for another meeting. Persons addressing the council are requested to limit their presentation to 3 minutes and to avoid repetitious comments. We will also ask you to state your name and address for the record as well as stand when speaking. I see we have nobody online, so would you like to have any questions? No? You don't want to speak tonight? Okay, so hearing none, we're going to start with the acknowledgement of the retirement of Dean Barber.
Sure, Dean's not here, but certainly the city will reap the benefits of everything, all of his hard work and his crew's hard work for years to come, from streetscaping to DeWitt Avenue to the infrastructure. Big shoes to fill, but we're on course to do that and then some over the next year or two.
Yep. Very good. Anybody else like to make any comments? All right, new business. You're in
I guess
charge.
that's me. Motion to approve council decision request 2023-2437, authorizing the employment of Austin Hilgenberg as a maintenance worker 1 in the Public Works Street Utility Department with an annual compensation of $33,779.20 effective January 8th, 2024, pending a successful drug testing and background check.
Can I have a second to that motion?
Second.
Commissioner Clausen, and anybody like to make any comments?
I will say this one and the next one are two positions that we're just filling the vacancies that exist.
Right.
Okay.
Austin also has worked for us the last 2 summers. He's working for us part-time right now, doing a good job. So
Good. All right. Any other comments? Roll call.
Commissioner Cox?
Yes.
Commissioner Graven? Yes. Commissioner Fix?
Yes.
Commissioner Clausen?
Yes.
Mayor Hall?
Yes.
A motion to approve council decision request 2023-2438, authorizing the employment of Lyle Hanley as a maintenance worker 3 in the Public Works Street Utility Department with an annual compensation of $46,758.40 effective January 8th, 2024, pending a successful drug testing and background check.
And a second on that motion.
Second.
Commissioner Clausen, and any comments on that one?
again, he's got a good background. Has been working in concrete finisher for the last 10 years under Tom Busher. He's got some good skills, mechanically inclined. Took welding, took building trades type classes. He's going to be an asset to the department.
Good deal.
That's all I have.
All right, roll call.
Commissioner Graven? Yes. Commissioner Phipps?
Yes.
Commissioner Clausen?
Yes.
Commissioner Cox?
Yes.
Mayor Hall?
Yes. Department report, starting with Kyle Gill, City Administrator.
Not a lot. Been playing catch up on a lot of different things. Been doing some work on union negotiations, just trying to figure some things out. Working on a little bit of reorganization of Public Works, trying to look at that. Had some meetings with the water department and the sewer plant superintendents. Just been very busy trying to figure out things and how to push the public works department in a better position, hopefully. That's really all I have, unless you guys have some questions for me.
Okay. City Attorney Dan Jones.
I really don't have anything. It's been a quiet 2 weeks for me. Happy to talk about any issue you guys got questions about.
Okay. Any questions? Next, Susan O'Brien, City Clerk.
Just pretty much so business as usual with the holidays and all that.
Any questions for Susan? Finance, Beth Wright.
First, I got the revenue tracking through December 31st. Year to date, compared to the year prior, we're down by $48,068. So we're right there. We'll continue to keep an eye on it. Unrestricted cash in general fund today, just over 12 million. The last meeting was just over 12.1, so that's holding steady. And basically I'm working on budget preparation for fiscal 25. That's all I have.
Any questions for Beth? All right, then next, we don't have a report for, somebody want to make any comments?
I'd just say Alex Fuquay has been, stepping up, doing a lot of different things, working with the other departments as well, and seems to have a handle on everything. Just waiting to have Dave here next week and start introducing him to the different departments, different people, and that's pretty much Alex's. We're in good hands with Alex right now. So
Everybody agree with that over there, that side of the table?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, good,
Absolutely.
good deal. Any other questions we have about Public Works? Fire, Chief Hilligoss.
Thank you, Mayor. Since the last meeting, guys answered 163 calls for service. Inspectors did 4 inspections. They did their EMS and ARP training the last 2 weeks. We're on track to still get our new truck the 3rd week of February. Dr. Craig today, he's headed down there tomorrow to see if he can speed up the process and get it to us sooner. And I'm starting to work on year-end statistics. So that's all I've got unless anybody's got any questions for me.
Okay. Police Department, Ryan Hurd.
First of all, Happy New Year, everybody. It's been slow, the last 2 weeks, last probably 2 months, a lot of sickness going through the PD. Last 2 weeks, 700 calls to service, 31 arrests. Like Chief Hoga said, we're doing our in the year stats. One stat that stood out to me so far is the state has filed 684 felonies for this county this year. And Mattoon PD is responsible for 55% of those. That's a very, very high number. I would say it's nothing to do with the crime level, but more of the proactive policing that our young department's doing. Violent crimes down, all the big crimes down, but that number is usually about 42%. We're sitting at 55% this year. So again, that goes back to proactive policing. So that's all I have unless you guys have questions. I know Kyle and Sam are going to be working this week or next, replacing or
doing interviews, yeah.
open position at custodian. So
Good. Any questions, for Ryan? Arts and Tourism, Angelia Brigette, is she on?
She is not on. Yeah.
Anybody have anything?
Yeah, she's moving her daughter down to Georgia, and so she's obviously not going to be here this evening. She's working on the Lightworks final report. Looked like the number of cars and revenue was once again a great year for Lightworks. So I want to thank everybody with the Parks Department and the Tourism Office. It was another banner year for Lightworks, and she'll have a final report on that hopefully at the next council meeting. Tourism Office is also starting work on Bagel Fest contracts for entertainment that will be here before we know it this summer. Doesn't seem like it, but it will. So starting work on Bagel Fest. And then Angelia spoke at Rotary right before Christmas. I don't know if you attended that meeting, Mayor, but I'll ask her to have a report on that next meeting as well. And then Angelia and Mindy both are going to a training seminar the middle of the month, 15th through the 19th. And so be reporting on what they find out there probably in the first meeting in February, I'm guessing. So have a report on that.
Okay. Any questions? Let's see, community development, Alex.
Yeah, given sweet, work today on getting our SAM.gov registration issue fixed, which is huge for grants, things like that. The big issue was really just trying to get Dean transferred, his role transferred over to my position as entity administrator. We got that sorted today. I just got an email right before this meeting, so good news. Now we can go officially re-register in March. Outside of that, we were recently ranked the #1 most affordable city in Illinois by an organization called Home Snacks, which has a pretty large reach online. We had them update the photo though, because the photo they showed wasn't the most flattering thing. But now it's a nice one of the murals downtown. So, neat stuff there. And outside of that, ordinances should be going out to council regarding housing this week. They're all done. I'm just kind of looking through for typos, stuff like that. And my last thing is just my resolution for 2024 is to give out more citations to junk property owners. So that's what we're going to be focusing on this year. And Kyle's been educating me on kind of the quick take process and stuff like that. So happy to take any questions.
Got to have goals, right?
Yeah.
Very good. Any questions? All right, starting with Commissioner Clausen for his report.
Cunningham Park, thanks to a generous donation from the Kiwanis Club, there'll be a sidewalk which will go around the new equipment that the Kiwanis Club helped finance and put in. That should be done here in the next 5 to 6 weeks, weather dependent. Per Kerr, we've already got 2 baseball tournaments already scheduled, one in May, one in June, both at Lawson Park. Water treatment plant, Kyle kind of touched on this. Hopefully we can fill the water superintendent's position, hopefully January 16th is a goal. And then we had a meeting today to start talking about the levels of the depth at Lake Paradise and how we're going to handle that with some pumping. And the last thing is, Alex, hopefully we get some good news on the OSLAD grant.
Still waiting.
It's supposed to be December 15th, yeah, and for everybody, that's a $600,000 grant, which will really benefit the marina at Lake Mattoon. So
Great.
that's all I have, Mayor.
Okay. Any questions anybody has? Commissioner Cox?
A couple of things. One, that's thanks for your report, Alex, but that's interesting about the economics of living in Mattoon. Saw one of our local chiropractors over the holiday weekend out at Home Depot. We were talking, and his son is actually moving from Atlanta, making plans to come back and live in Mattoon because he's just been given the okay to, and he's professional setting, but he's just got the okay to work 100% remotely. So he's moving back home and keeping his job out of the Atlanta area. And I just thought that was interesting because it kind of goes along with a lot of the stuff that we had talked about, the opportunities for young people to continue to work, basically anywhere and live here in Mattoon. So, and then kind of along that same point, I'd had a couple of customers in the last couple of weeks when we go on test drives at work, and they've complimented on how Mattoon, they're from out of town, and how nice Mattoon looked. They didn't realize it was this big of a town, and they were very complimentary of our community. So I thought that was very nice to hear and good feedback. And then the last thing, I just wanted to send condolences over to our friends over in the other side of the county in Charleston for the passing of Matt Huddy. Most of you probably know Matt and served on city council over there. It's just wonderful, wonderful human being, and that's a big loss to the community of Charleston. Send our condolences to them. So thank you, Mayor.
Any questions for Dick? Commissioner Graven?
I have nothing.
Okay. Any questions about the nothing? Commissioner Phipps?
Sure. Public Works did right before Christmas, had a water main break uptown, and they spent a day getting that fixed and taking care of that before the holidays. So as at Broadway and 16th, there were 3 restaurants downtown that had to boil water for a little bit of time, but very pleased that their rapid response on it. Last week, we've assigned one of the Public Works out to the water plant to help out there with some, what do they call it, deferred maintenance issues. And so that will probably most likely continue, especially during kind of the slow time for the Public Works. It's not slow. It's not like they're sitting around, but until there's a big storm, we'll do some cross work on that information. Streetscaping is set to go the next phase. Ed Dow's online, so he should be happy about that. I know Dean always talked about Route 16 and the interchange. That's all set to bid, even though we're kind of on IDOT's timeline. We're set to reapply for Little Wabash Valley grant for the drainage here in January. There was a couple of hitches that we didn't get last time. Road sidewalks in place. And then the last thing is as you guys, I think you probably know, you've been involved with it pretty heavily. There are 3 sets of plans, design plans for the sports complex. One's roadway, one's water main, and one's sewer. The water and the sewer have both been approved from IEPA, so that one's should be full speed ahead. And the roadway plans are at IDOT waiting for their approval. So looking forward to some good things out there once those get approved, and it should be full steam ahead. But all 3 of those projects should be done by the end of August. That's the target. So that's pretty exciting. Kind of goes in with a good place to live in Mattoon and all of the synergies around what's happening and what's been happening. So that's all I have.
Okay. Any questions? Just real quick on my side. Next year, actually this year at this point, looks to be another exciting year for the city. I think, we've all put a lot of time into things that are in process right now. And I think people are really going to see it in the next 12 months. And they're going to see buildings up and things they've not seen from the interstate before. And I know already people are talking about it. There is some steel up at the strip mall. We've got plans for new restaurants and house, and it's going to be an exciting year for the city of Mattoon. And I think you're going to hear a lot of things about it, a lot of opportunities. So that's really all I have. Anybody have any questions for me? Okay, so we've got to go into executive session, and so I move the recess for closed session pursuant to Illinois Open Meeting Act for the purpose of the discussion of the appointment, compensation, discipline, performance, or dismissal of specific employees of the city or legal counsel for the city under 5 ILCS 120 2C1 and collective negotiating matters between the city of Mattoon and its employees or their representatives, or deliberation concerning salary schedules for one or more classes of employees under 5 ILCS 120 2C2. Do we have a second to that motion?
I'll second the mayor.
Commissioner Phipps, and roll call.
Commissioner Phipps?
Yes.
Commissioner Clausen?
Yes.
Commissioner Cox?
Yes.
Commissioner Raven?
Yes.
Mayor Hall?
Yes. And of course, we're going to reconvene, take no action when we do. This will be probably the biggest part of the meeting in closed session, but you'll hear about things later, I'm sure. So, all right. Head that way. Thank you.
At this time, I'm going to mute until we are back from executive session. All right, we are back.
Did you have anything, comments? So we just need a motion?
Back in session and
Waiting for a motion.
again.
We haven't made any motions tonight.
Mayor, I'd like to make a motion. We adjourn.
Okay, any second? Anybody like to second that?
Second.
Oh, Jim?
Oh, you had your chance.
Okay, second and,
Commissioner Clausen,
Yes.
Commissioner Cox,
Yes.
Commissioner Graven. Yes. What?
wow.
Commissioner Phipps.
No.
There you go.
The petition continues.
Yes,
Thank you.
nearly unanimous.
I don't know how many times I had to scribble that out.
Yeah. I don't know.
Being adjourned.
Meeting adjourned.
Everyone, have a